Hello everyone, Superstar Rose Watty here, and today I'm going to read Cujo, a novel horror book. Not in the daytime, anyway, he said and smiled at her so openly, so beautifully, that she was charmed out of her fears. She ruffled his hair and kissed his cheek. She went to talk to Vic, and then Steve came while Tad was at nursing school, and she forgot, and Tad screamed that night, too, screamed that it was in his closet. The monster! The monster! The closet door hung ajar, blankets on the chair. This time Vic took them up to the third floor and stacked them in the closet up there. Lock it up, Tatter, Vic said, kissing his son. You're all set now. Go back to sleep and have a good dream. But Tad did not sleep for a long time, and before he did, the closet door swung clear off its lid with a sly little snicking sound. The deadlock opened on the dead dog where something furry and sharp-toothed and clawed waited, something that smelled of sour blood and dark doom. Hello, Tad. Oh, hello, Tad, it whispered in its rotting voice, and the moon peered in Tad's window like a white and slitted eye of a dead man. The oldest living person in Castle Rock that late spring was Evelyn Chalmers, known as Aunt Evie by the town's old residents, known as that old loudmouthed bitch by George I. And offers from the readers to jest and prayer folders from the scent of the ether Christ, and listen to her endless on lunch. The only thing that old loudmouth witch is any good at is telling the weather. George had been known to allow when in his cups and in the company of his call. Down at the Mellow Tiger. It was one stupid name for a bar, but since it was the only one Castle Rock could boast, it looked like they were pretty much stuck. But there was general agreements. That's what George's opinions as the oldest resident of Castle Rock had held the Boston Post came for the last 2 years ever since Arnold Hebert, who had been 101 and so far gone in sentimentality that talking to him hurt all the challenge of talking to an empty cat food. Ken had died off the back patio of the castle. I got our same house and broken his neck exactly 25 minutes after wheezing in his pants for the last time. He was nowhere near as senile as Arnie Hebert had been, and now we're near as old, but at 93 she was old enough, and as she was fond of howling at a resigned and often hung over George when he delivered the mail. She hadn't been stupid enough to lose her home the way Hebert had done. But she was good at the weather. The town serious among the older people who cared about each thing was that Aunt Eve was never wrong about three things. The week when the first hay cutting would happen in the summertime, how good or how bad the blueberries would be, and what the weather would be like. One day early that June, she shuffled out to the mailbox and at the end of the driveway, leaning heavily on her Boston Post cane, which would go to the bank merchant when the loud-mouthed old witch popped off. George, he thought, and good returns to you, Eve, and smoking a Herbert Tarleton. She bellowed a greetings at her deafening had apparently convinced her that everyone else in the world had gone deaf in some pity, and then shouted that they were going to have the hottest summer in 30 years. Hot early and hot late. Eve bellowed rather longed into the drowsy 11 o'clock quiet and hot in the middle. That's so, George asked. What? I said, is that so? That was the other thing about Aunt Eve. She got to shouting right along with her. A man could pop a blood vessel. I should hope to smile and kiss a pig if it ain't. If it ain't, Aunt Eve screamed. The ash of her cigarette flew out on fell. The ash of her cigarette fell on the shoulder of George and uniform blouse, freshly dry, clean, and just put on clean. This morning, he brushed it off resignedly. Aunt Eve leaned in the window of his car on the better to bellow in his ear. Her breath smelled like sour cucumbers. Feral mice has all gone out of the root cellar. Tommy needed still seems there out by Mars Pond, rubbing velvet off, and their antlers are the first robin showed up grass under the snow when she melted green grass. Alright, now read the rest of this on a Friday. This is Superstar and Hero YT. Sign off. Bye, guys.